Welcome to the Hollywood Scholar. I'm Jed Morgan, and some of the most surprising news to come out of Lord of the Rings in quite some time was announced out of the blue the other day, and that's the Saul Zaentz company has sold the rights to the Lord of the Rings. This includes the film, television, video games, board games, pretty much all the rights for the Lord of the Rings has been sold from the Saul Zaentz company, which has been the steward of these rights since 1976. Now, this news just broke out of nowhere the other day, and it surprised everyone. I still can't believe that it actually happened. If the rights were on sale, why wouldn't Amazon have jumped at the opportunity to get rights to as many things as they can? It's just a very surprising thing to me, and I honestly don't know why the Saul Zaentz company was selling, why it sold to Embracer of all people, because they sold it to a Swedish gaming company, Embracer. Why would a gaming company want the rights to these if they don't have the intentions of making the motion pictures, board games, stuff like that? It's just a very odd situation that hasn't been revealed. We don't know the price tag that these rights have sold for. We really don't know anything about this deal and why it went through or the motivations behind it. Now, this is still a very concerning deal for me. Not nearly as much as if Amazon had bought the rights. That would be infuriating. That would imply that they are planning on remaking the Lord of the Rings trilogy in the next few years. And I firmly believe that is their end goal, but it's just really, really weird at this point. And the concerning factor is in the Embracer group. They own a few things. I've been reading up on them. I wasn't exactly sure who they were prior to hearing about this sale, but they own games like the Saints Row, Little Nightmares, Goat Simulator, Destroy All Humans. I've heard of that one. Valheim, I've heard of that one. Deus Ex, and Tomb Raider. That was a recent acquisition, I believe. Now, Tomb Raider, I really enjoy those video games, so that's something that I do know about them and care about them, as well as Saints Row. I played Saints Row 3, the remastered version, and it's the most insane game I've ever seen, but I love it. But there are some very concerning things coming out of this company when it came to the Saints Row reboot, and that was a while back. It was quite a while back in July, and even earlier when the initial story broke was last year, I believe. But it's some very concerning stuff where they're attacking fans about not liking their new diversity inclusion approach, even though the original games were always diverse and inclusive. Just a weird situation that has me highly concerned about the intentions of this Embracer company. And overall, I'm very concerned with it and don't think that they're going to be as good of stewards as the Saul Zaentz company have been for the last 60 years. I've been very impressed with how stringent they are with giving out the rights, and hopefully the Embracer company will be as well as the Saul Zaentz company. It's just really, really weird. That's the biggest thing to take away. It's concerning and it's weird. I just would not have been able to predict this if you put a gun to my head a few days ago. And I don't know how this will affect the future of the Rings of Power. I don't know how this will affect the future of the other Lord of the Rings projects that are out there, like the Mines of Moria video game or the War of the Rohirrim anime coming from Warner Brothers. Now, this is just my opinion or my speculation from seeing previous contracts and how they work. I believe that Warner Brothers still has basically a lease on the film rights to the Lord of the Rings for the time being, as long as they're using it, which is why they're making the War of the Rohirrim anime, is to retain the rights to the Lord of the Rings. And so I think they'll still keep those leased rights, but once they forfeit those rights, they'll revert back to Embracer rather than the Saul Zaentz company. And it's kind of the same situation with MGM, which basically did the same thing, owned the lease rights or whatever to the Hobbit movies, and MGM was recently bought by Amazon, so Amazon now kind of controls the lease rights of the Hobbit movie rights. So those will revert back to Embracer once Amazon and MGM forfeits them, but I don't think they automatically revert back to Embracer, and new deals need to be struck, because that would throw a lot of projects out of whack. And same thing with Mines of Moria and all those other ones. Those, I think, should still stay intact, and those companies that are making them still will retain their temporary rights over those properties for the time being, and then they'll revert back to Embracer rather than Saul Zaentz. Just some really interesting stuff. Overall, I don't know what this will change about all these other projects. I don't know if this will be a good thing in the end or a bad thing in the end. If I had to predict, I'd say it's probably a neutral thing. It's just surprising is the only thing that I can say about it. And as long as they keep their weird stuff going on with Saints Row out of the Lord of the Rings, I'll be fine with them owning it. But the Saul Zaentz company is someone that I thought we could trust for a long time, because they've done a very good job with the rights in the past. And so we'll have to see how this all changes in the future to see if Embracer comes out with any statements on why they did this, why they wanted the rights, Saul Zaentz company, why they sold, maybe the price tag involved. Is it like a power play to keep the rights out of Amazon? If that's the case, I'm 100% on board with it. There's just a lot of possibilities of why this could have happened. And honestly, we don't know at this point, but it's some interesting news nonetheless. But anyway, that's all I have for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Anon. If you like what I do here and want to see good, compelling stories that Hollywood will no longer give you, check out my book series, Odyssey of a Phoenix, a mythological epic about philosophy, morality, and modern-day mental illness issues. Books 1, Down in Flames, and Book 2, Apocalypse Then, currently on sale. Book 3, Kill the Dark, coming soon.